Okay, it is Friday. Fine, don't laugh at my jokes. I don't care. It's Friday, September 10th. We are teaching one more lesson before we get ready to review. If you are in my math class, here in my math class, we're going to review for our test on Tuesday, September 14th. Then we are going to take our test on Wednesday. And then we'll be working on corrections after that. So that is the plan. We have one final lesson to teach and review. And then we have a day of review where we're going to go over our study guide. All students should have received their study guide already. Yes? Yes. You will get your study guide answer key today so that you will have those answers to be able to check. We talked about that yesterday, about how when you use a study guide, if you have the answer key, then you are better able to make sure you know what you're doing. And your parents at home, your parents don't have to do the 4th grade math work to figure out the answers, right? That's the point of the study guide with the study guide answer key. Okay, so here today we are talking about the first 10 multiples of 4. And as a general class, we are kind of riding the struggle bus a little bit, yes?
Yes.
We're riding the struggle bus. It's okay. Let's look at our poster that I made for you, which those of you on the recording, this is going to be mirrored, and I'm sorry, but here it is. What number on the poster is the multiple? Logan? What number on the poster is the multiple? David?
12.
The 12. So in our poster, the 3 and the 4 are factors. So when we list the first 10 multiples of 4, we are looking for multiples or the product or the answer. So here is how this works. When I ask you to list multiples of 4, you start with the number 4, and then you count by 4. So we're going to have a 4, 8,
12,
16,
20.
Look here. 1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. 3 times 4 equals 12. 4 times 4 equals 16. Notice 4 multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4. That is why this is called a multiple. Because when you multiply 4 times 1, you get 4. That's the multiple. That's the product. When you multiply 4 times 2, you get 8. That's the multiple. You don't have to do all of this work here. You don't have to do all of that. You can do that in your head. When I ask you to list multiples of a number, you are going to start with that number and then count by that number. So everyone pick up your pencils, whether you have this written or not. In your cactus notebook, I want you to close. I want you, let's just do this. Yes, I do want to delete all of it. Thank you. Let's do this together, because when I ask you this next time, I want you to be able to say, oh, okay. So, someone raise their hand and tell me, how do I list the first 10 multiples of 4? If I'm going to list multiples of 4, what do I do? Sean. Good. What do I start with? Kelsey.
4.
I'm going to start with the number 4. What am I going to count by? Kyrie?
4.
4. So raise your hand if you know how to count. 1, 2. Okay. Everyone knows how to count. Everyone in this room can list multiples. I forgot to tell you this. This belongs to you. So every day in the math class, you can pull this out of this little pocket. And you get that. So we're going to start with 4, and we're going to count by 4. So let's do it. 4,
8, 12.
hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm trying to go slow so that we are very clear about how this works. 9, 10, 11, 12, right? We're going up by 4 because this is 4 times 1. This is 1 4. This is 2 4s. This is 3 4s. We could also list it like this. What's this called? This fancy thing when I got a bunch of addition problems here? Riley?
Isn't it
Micah?
repeated addition?
That's it. So this is 1 4. This is 2 4s. This is 3 4s. This is 4 4s. I'm just trying to make sure that we're so clear about this. 2 times 4. 3 times 4. 4 times 4. You tracking with me?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, man. Tracking with me. So let's list multiples of 4. Ready? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20.
28, 32,
Good.
36, 40.
40. Do we stop or do we keep going?
Stop.
We stop because how many do they want? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have successfully listed the first 10 multiples of 4. Now, if I were to ask you to list in your cactus notebook the first 10 multiples of 3, what would that look like? Write it down. Write it down. What would that look like? Just on your paper somewhere. I'm going to do 10. I'm going to do 2. Yes. Start with the 3. That down. And then what would come next? Multiples of 3. You don't have to do all the work, guys. You can just list them out. You can do the work in your head. You just list them out. Okay. Now, are we better at understanding how to list multiples? Do we feel better about that?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. I do too. Okay. Yesterday, we started talking about lockers. We were trying to figure out what was happening in a game about lockers, and we are going to continue that conversation. So, we talked yesterday. What were some of the things we noticed and wondered about the lockers? What were some of those things? Vlad?
I wondered what was inside the lockers.
Okay, we wondered what was inside. Online, who was that? Somebody online raised their hand. Go ahead.
How many lockers were in each side, like in each row?
Lockers in each row. How many? What's something that we noticed? I want to put something in the notice column. Nehemiah? We have 3 rows. I love how all of these things that we're saying, most of these things are like math related. Sophia?
There's red stripes on the roof.
Notice the red stripes on the roof. David?
Notice there are 2 doors.
2 doors. Gabe?
The lockers are split in half.
How do we want to say that? We want to say that there's 2 lockers in each spot.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how to write it very well. Let's try to draw a representation of what we mean. 1, 2. How's that? We're going to create a representation of what we mean. That's a thing, right? Let's get some more wondering. What else do we wonder? What else do we wonder, Riley?
Why are they all separated? Why are they separated?
Why are they separate? What else do we wonder? Ethan?
How long is the hallway?
Okay, a little bit of measurement action going on here.
I'm good with that.
How long is the hallway? And one more, Lucia.
If they have locks on the lockers.
Do they lock? Okay. Do they lock?
They're called
The lockers are in the school hallway, and there are 20 students playing a game, which we already know, right? Okay. Let's go through this again. Let's go through the situation again. All right? The first student starts with the first locker and goes down the hallway and opens all the lockers. So on my representation, an open locker is going to be just blank. Okay? So these are now all open because it's just blank. All right? The second student starts with the second locker and goes down the hallway and shuts every other. So a closed locker is going to have an X on it. All right? Open is blank, closed has an X. That's it. The third student stops at every third locker and opens the locker if it's closed or closes the locker if it's open. This process continues until all 20 students in the class have touched the locker. Create a representation in your Cactus notebook to show what you understand about this problem. Here are the things to consider. How does your representation show the lockers? How does your representation keep track of students who touch lockers? I already showed you how mine was going to do that. How does your representation show which lockers are open or closed? I actually didn't show you this part. I showed you this part. So unlike yesterday where we did this together for the most part, now that you kind of have a better idea about how this works, I want to give you some time to create a representation. Create a representation. Go ahead. When I say create a representation, do you have to draw a picture? No. Can you?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have to write a bunch of numbers?
No.
No. Can you?
Yes.
Yes. Create a representation showing what you understand about this problem. Do you want me to go back to the previous slide so you can see the numbers?
Yeah.
Like see the rules? Here it is. Okay. Create your own representation. I'm going to give you some time to think. Make sure that you're being diligent with your time. You don't want to take too much time being incredibly artsy. We had some of that yesterday. I already see some things happening that are unnecessary. So make sure you're using your time wisely.
Done.
If you are online or watching this video, you should be taking this time to join the class and doing what the class is doing. So you should be creating a representation of these lockers. If you're having a hard time thinking of how to create your representation, maybe use this here as a guide. Maybe try to use the lockers like they have in the picture. Okay, as I go around the room, I am noticing that we're all missing, and this is just in the room, so what's happening on the recording, obviously I'm not sure, But what I'm noticing is we're all missing one very important piece of this. How does your representation keep track of students who touch lockers? You guys aren't keeping track of who's touching what. There's no list of. You're not keeping track of who touches what. So. What? So, where are the lockers in your representation? Raise your hand if you have some sort of representation of lockers. Good. How can we tell if a locker is open or closed? Raise your hand if you can tell me what your plan is for how your locker is going to be open or closed. David.
For me, it's going to be an open for an open, and it's going to be a C for a closed.
C for a closed. Micah?
Blank for an open, and an X for a
Okay.
closed.
Here's the piece that we're missing. How does your representation show which student is touching the lockers? Sean?
Somebody's opening the locker, and somebody's closing the locker.
Correct. How are you going to put that in your representation? You are on the right track. Think about that. Let's focus on this piece right here. We seem to be good in this area and this area. Get this sorted out on your paper. Get this part sorted out. How does your representation keep track of which student is touching the lockers? I saw one person that has that figured out. Yeah, see? Don't waste time. Okay, can I give you another prompt? Do you know these kids' names?
No.
No. How do you identify these students?
Well, it said the first student and the
So-
second student.
So student number 1 is going to touch which locker?
And then
All of them. Student number 2. So what is a good way to identify these students? By their number. Okay. There's another little prompt for you. Identify students by their number. Keep going online, people. Keep working. Is 2 touching everyone? The second person is only touching every 2. So you start with 2 and then you count by. Yeah. Good. Oh, this yours is good. You're gonna need bigger boxes, but I'm gonna use that. That's good.
something for the future. I don't like when people touch my head.
Oh, sorry. coming online. Hold on.
You turned off the middle one because you're doing that.
Well, think of it. The first one touches all of them. The second one touches every 2. The third one touches every 3. And if it's open, they close it. If it's closed, they open. Yes, questions online. Here I am.
I got all my lockers to be closed when I kept on repeating the process.
Okay, we're going to go over it together. So just hold your thoughts for a second, okay?
Okay.
Got my lunchbox. No, where's my cover house?
All right. If you are working diligently on your process, keep on going. I'm going to start with the team because I have quite a few. I feel like, raise your hand if you're ready for us to talk about it as a group. If you want to start the conversation now. Yeah, a lot of us are ready to start. The ones that aren't ready to start seem to be partially on the right track. Yeah, let's talk. Okay. So before we start to answer, so we have all these questions we want to answer. Okay. Before we start to answer all these questions, let's figure out what's open and what's closed. All right. Here is how I'm going to do this. As I said earlier, an open locker is going to be open. A shut locker is going to have an X on it. Okay, that's why I drew those over those words, right? Now, the one piece that we have to make sure that we do is that we keep track of who's touching what. And how are we going to know who's who? By their number. So, person number 1 is touching which ones?
All of them.
I'm just going to put 1 through 20. Okay? All of them. They're all open. Now, person number 2 is going to touch which one?
Second. Every 2.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Wait, let's try. Oh, let's try this. 16, 18, 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, 2, 4, 6, 8,
12.
10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now, person number 3. What are they going to start?
They're going to shut.
3, 6,
9, 12,
12,
15,
15,
18.
18. So these are the lockers they're going to touch. So 3 is now closed. 6 is now open. 9 is now closed.
12 is now
12 is now open.
15 is now closed. 18 is now
18 is now open, right? Okay, who's next? Person number 4.
He starts at 4.
He starts at 4 and he touches 4,
8,
8,
12, 16, 20.
4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So 4 is now open.
8 is now open.
8 is now open.
16 is now open.
Okay, 16 is now open. 12 is not now closed. We're going out of order a little bit, but that's okay.
And 20 is now open.
Okay. What's next?
Number 5.
5.
5 is now closed.
10, 15, 20.
So this is the piece where I'm keeping track of what everyone touches. Every kid. Kid number 1, kid number 2, kid number 3. I'm making a list. What am I making a list of?
Kids.
Vlad?
Repeated addition.
Sort of. Yes. What else? Lucia. Multiples. Did we do what we're supposed to do? So 5. Do I need to do something to 5?
Closed.
5 is closed.
10 is open.
10 is open.
No, wait, no, you open. You open 5. No.
No, it was always open because it never got touched another time.
Now 20. 20 is closed.
Okay.
Bye-bye, 20.
What's next?
6. 6 is
6, 12, 18.
Okay.
6 is now closed. 6 is now closed. 12 is open. 18 is closed.
Okay.
Bye-bye. 7.
7.
14. 7 is now. 7 is closed. And then
Okay.
number 8. 8 and 16. 8 is closed. 8 is closed. And 16 is 9.
Okay.
Number
Next is
9.
9.
9 is 18. Open. And 18 is open. And 9 is open.
All right.
Number 10. 10 is closed and 20 is open. 20 is open. 10 is closed and 20 is open.
Okay.
Number 11. 11 is now closed. Number 12. 12 is also now closed. 12 is closed.
What am I going to list for 13?
13 is closed. 13 is closed. 14 is now closed. 14 is closed. 14.
What do you notice about the rest of our list? It's only one multiple in the rest of our list, right?
16 is closed. 16 is open. 17 is closed. 18 is closed. 19 is closed. 20 is closed. So
All students, seriously. All students have gone through the lockers and done what they're going to do, right? And so here is what we're left with. Number 1 is open.
9 is
2 and 3 are closed. 4 is open. 9 is open. 16. So we only have 4 lockers that remain open. And all of the rest of them are closed. Now, we have our representation. And we have kept track of who touches what. Are we able to answer the questions now?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Which locker numbers does the third student touch?
3, 6, 9.
How do you know that, Sophia?
Because it's up there.
We made a little list.
Yeah, and I'll say
It's not that
by
little.
threes and do the song. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21.
But we're going to stop at 18 because our lockers only go to 20, right? Good. Very good. Now, which locker numbers does the fifth student touch? Riley?
The fifth student touches 5, 10, 15, and 20.
5, 10, 15, and 20. How many students touched locker 17? Gabe?
1.
How do you know that, Gabe?
Because if you counted 17 again, it would go past 20.
But why didn't number 4 touch 17?
Because
David?
1 and it's so.
What does that mean?
It's a prime number.
17 is a prime number, right? So how many students touch locker 17? 1. Because 17 is prime. Very good. Ooh, I love it when you figure that stuff out.
It's prime.
Which lockers? Ooh, this is a tricky one. Which lockers are only touched by 2 students?
Oh, I know.
Whoa. Whoa, we got hands like, whoo. I know. James, what do you, I haven't talked to you yet today.
10?
I'm not going to call in here if you do that. Huh?
10?
Which lockers are only touched by 2 students? Number 10 is only touched by 2 students? Is that what you're saying? What are you saying?
Yeah.
Anybody agree that number 10 was only touched by 2 students?
Wait a minute.
Did number 1 touch locker 10?
Yes.
Yes, because he touched all of them. Did number 2 touch locker 10?
Yes.
Yes. 3?
Yes.
No. 4?
No.
5?
Yes.
6?
No.
7?
No.
8?
No.
9?
No.
10.
Yes.
So this guy touched 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 people touched locker 10.
Wait.
So which lockers are only touched by 2 students? Caden? Why 4, Caden? Huh? Huh? 1 touches 4, right? 2 touches 4? 3?
No.
4?
Yeah.
Ah! Look up here. Keep searching. Keep searching. There has to be one. Lucia, now people are like, oh, wait, I have an idea. Lucia.
Maybe 7?
7. Well, who touches 7?
7 and
1
and 7.
and 7.
Prime.
What?
Prime.
Oh, 1 and 7 is prime.
Wait.
So, Sophia, are you telling me that the only lockers that are going to be touched by 2 students are the numbers that are?
Prime.
Huh. Okay. So what's the next one going to be? 7.
11.
We have 11. Good. This is a cool thing, guys. Riley?
Would it be 12?
Couldn't be 12. So that's the bottom of this list. Go up there.
18?
18's going to be here. 18's going to be here. 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 Whoa, we got a lot of 18s. Jake?
13.
13.
And I also noticed that 3 is also has
Interesting. Jake says we missed one, and he's right. We missed the number 3.
I was going to say that.
That's interesting.
I was gonna
Why?
say that.
Why does that work? Why is that like that?
Two can't touch 3 because it goes 2, 4, and 6.
Because the 3. Well, that's not right, is it? Three is what? 3 is also prime, right?
Yeah.
3, yeah, that's why. Because 3 is prime. What do we know? What are we finding out about these numbers? They're all prime. All these numbers are prime. What's the other prime numbers in our list? We got to 3, 7, 11, 13. What else you got, Nehemiah? 19. Is there any more? Micah?
5. Wait.
We missed another one. 5 is also prime.
Yeah.
How many numbers have we missed?
17.
James?
17.
17. Good job. Wait, Riley? She's thinking. Let her think. She's thinking.
Because 9 is prime.
9 is not prime.
Oh no, it isn't. Because that's 3. You're right.
3 times 3, you're right. You're thinking. All right. Which lockers are touched by only 3 students? David.
16.
1. Let's check your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! Gabriel. 7. 1, 2. Well, we know 7's in the 2 line. Allie, what do you got?
No.
Allie McElroy, what do you got?
10.
10. Let's see. 10's every single number in the whole wide world has the same first factor it is.
1.
Every single number in the whole wide world has the same last factor it is.
1.
Itself for me, right. So 10 is here. 10, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nehemiah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah! Lucia.
8.
1, 2, 3, 4. Lucia.
9.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I see what's happening.
You said no, it's not 10, and then you said it's not 7, so I knew it was either 8 or 9.
Okay. Are there others? Gabe?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. David?
20.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jake? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I was going to say 5 or 4.
Oh, I'm starting to get excited about this. What else?
14.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's just like a guessing.
It's not a guessing game at all. We are thinking about something and then we're checking our work. It's not a guessing game at all.
No.
But it's
What is? Do you notice any similarities in these two numbers
No.
with their factors?
They're composite.
They are composite. How do you make a factor rainbow of 9?
You can
How do you make a factor rainbow of 4?
two. They both just have two.
Huh?
They both just have two. No, they actually just.
Look at this. Oh, I am not ready to be done yet. Schedule. Get out of here. Look here at these numbers.
I told you they're
See how they have this middle part? You multiply something times itself to get the answer? Cool.
I get it.
Let's talk about number 6. Which lockers are touched the most? Whoa. Anybody I haven't talked to yet today? Ethan?
20.
20, he says. So 20. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20 is a 6. Are there any other 6s? Riley? Hey, are we going to choose the number 4?
No.
Because 4 is not going to be on our list very often, so it's going to have to be a, what kind of number? Higher or lower?
Lower.
Higher. Sean, what were you going to say?
I was going to say the fourth kid and then them. Or the shooting.
Yes. Sean is answering a different question, but it's a very good question. Which kid touched the most? Which one of these kids touched the most?
I know.
Sean?
The fourth.
The first guy, because he's the only one that
Touch.
touched them all. Very good observation, Sean.
They're spreading germs to each other because they.
It's fine. It's a germ-free school. It's a magical germ-free school. So they don't deal with germs. It's before COVID. Before germs were invented.
Yeah.
Riley.
Before someone got tell us
6. 6 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to, and 6 is kind of a lower number. It's going to have to be a higher number. Kyrie.
18.
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18 is a 6 as well.
I was gonna say that.
Anything else you want to try? Gabe, what do you want to try?
19.
Okay. 1. What kind of number is 19, Gabe?
A high number. Oh my goodness.
He's prime. So he's only going to be up there twice. Kelsey. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 is also a 6. Interesting. Others you want to try, Riley?
No. 18. Wait.
We did 18.
14?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. David.
16?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are there going to be any others?
No.
Maybe.
What about 10? Maybe 10?
Uh,
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
No.
So these are our lockers that were touched the most. 20, 18, and 12, all at 6. And we know which lockers are still open at the end of the game because we created a representation that shows that while also keeping track of who did what, right? Can we get some silent celebration for your awesome job figuring out this really fun, really cool problem? That was awesome.
about people.
Take a
spreading
few minutes to
germs.
share your answers with students in a different group. We did it all together. We already talked about which lockers were only touched by 2 students. What kind of numbers were those? Prime numbers. The prime numbers were only touched by 2 students. Which lockers were only touched by 3 students?
Composite.
Well, a bunch of composite numbers. Which ones were only touched by the 3 students? Riley? If you remember, they were numbers 4 and 9. What did 4 and 9 have in common? Vlad?
They both had double digits.
Vlad, Nice, Vlad. Very nice. They both had double digits. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9, right? And then how do today's problems relate to what we've been studying? The last question I'm going to ask you before I set you free on your study guide to review for your first test on Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. How do today's problems relate to what we've been studying?
It makes you write down multiples of stuff.
It makes you write down multiples of stuff. Excellent. Riley.
It also teaches you prime and composite.
It also talks about prime and composite. What else? Didn't I have one of these guys up here? Did I have one of these guys up here? Huh? Gabe?
Vector rainbows.
It also forces you to think about your factor rainbows all together in one beautiful little problem.
That includes spreading germs to each other.
You guys did a great
Oh
job.
my gosh, Kyrie.
Please prepare.
Yes.
Thank you. Make sure as the weekend approaches that you are preparing yourself for your test next week. You have your study guide. Study guides and answer keys will be posted in Google Classroom before day's end, okay? Thank you for joining us on our recording. We will see you.